Well, Silver Note Warp is the category in which you control this very slow hedgehog for a lot of puzzle-based gameplay. At least you're supposed to. His psychokinetic powers of lifting and throwing objects. Right? Not really. Instead, it's filled with stuff like this. Use a tower throw. This is Silver's bread and butter. If I lift an object while I'm standing on it, and then I throw it while I'm facing a little bit uphill, I get stuck to the object as it is thrown. So I can do it again if I feel like it. I can throw it in all sorts of different angles. So up there was Blaze, and thanks to Telethrow, he's actually a bit slower. And I can turn to the left, around the corner, and go into the third of the level. And we can clear this section fairly fast with, you know what? Another rock.
I'll go on ahead.
This one's just right here.
This whole area is destroyed.
So yeah, this one trick revolutionized the run not too long ago. It was actually found in a marathon. On accident, and then we developed it, and it shaved about 5 minutes off of world record. Definitely rocking. Now, we do have to play the bosses as intended. Unfortunately. This guy's pretty quick if you can hit his rock cycles correctly. You have 4 groups of 3 you have to deal with. You throw objects in the order you pick them up. So I have to be very careful about these rocks not running into each other. And I have to stagger my throws so that the rocks don't explode on their explosions as they collide with the box. It's good. Then I'm going to go for an early third cycle here. And it's bonus cycle. It's good. Ooh, double hit. Alright.
It's not over yet.
You're usually supposed to complete the third cycle with these rocks I have in my hand. But you can do it a bit early. Saves about 3 or 4 seconds. That's the fight. It can go very wrong very fast. 39 ain't too bad. And sometimes one rock can hit twice. So, when I first started running this category, I used to walk all the way to the Tropical Jungle Portal, which is where we're going next. And the forest is pretty big. They expect you to, they really expected you to walk everywhere here as Silver. So, but thankfully, and in this version of Forest, and only this version of Forest, if you come back here later in the game, they aren't there. You get rocks. And now I kind of have to stop and readjust myself. make it. Now, Tropical Jungle introduces our first box. Telethrow. Rocks aren't the only thing that can do this. They are very preferred because you can stand on them at an angle very easily. But you can tilt boxes too. So I'm gonna get rid of this wall. Somehow. That wasn't enough tilt. I'm gonna look up here to reduce lag. Not too bad for the backup.
Looks like I'm on a roll.
The explosive box that I first tried to use usually automatically rotates into place, so you can walk backwards. Now, what I'm gonna do is during this cutscene, is I'm gonna hold the X button. What's that going to allow me to do is it's going to buffer a fire claw, which is not the thing pictured. It's the other thing where that functions a lot like a homing attack. In order to break out of this automation to set up the trick that
I need to find silver fast.
called Cave Skip, which is a nice and low cave skip too. You basically target the loop with a homing attack, and then what happens is that the loop pushes you out of the way of your destination, so you just keep accelerating until you hit the wall, or out of bounds. Either or. At that time we hit the wall, and we were nice in position. You get it. Does it count?
Can't complain.
Now, normally after this mission, you're supposed to save the mayor from a bunch of robots. But in Silver, we don't like combat that much. So we have a little thing called Mission 8 Skid. And it does what it says on the box. It skips Mission 8. So the Dusty Desert portal is guarded by not only some guards, but also an invisible wall. But it's right by where we spawn. So we're going to do this twice. This kind of glitch. We're gonna take a flat object and have it push us up against the ceiling so that we can clip through the ceiling. I forgot which direction was up on the control stick. Oops. So we shove this. That can happen. That's happened to you before. Nice and tight against the corner. Boom. You can jump and flip right out. Around the invisible wall. Into the Dusty Desert portal they forgot to turn off before you cleared the mission. That usually unlocks it. On to Dusty Desert. This level has a bunch of annoying things like ball puzzles.
Just you wait.
There's this really long Amy section. We do none of that. And it's like, well, Telethrow is so broken. How could it be used indoors? You just go outside. By outside, I mean out of bounds. And we can use these sand waves here to clip an object out of bounds. If we rotate it the right way. Okay, let's try that again. That was almost good.
Iblis trigger.
No, I do not trust that. Ooh, I double do not trust that. Ooh, I trust that though, that's nice. And there goes the level. Thank you to Dark and Sonic for discovering
Perfect.
that this telethrow. Still making waves in the 3D Sonic communities into 2023. You know exactly, they just clip out. What do you do if your level's enclosed? You clip out of bounds. Now we have our second boss fight, Sonic. Unlike Iblis, we don't have to stagger our throws because the objects are tiny enough to not cause any explosions.
What? Here I come. What? Now it's serious. That hurt. Here I come. What? What? No. That hurt.
Pretty good. I was scared of where he was because of the camera angle, but ended up going in the right direction.
Looks like I'm on a roll.
Wow, my best possible time is already above world record. Dang, my goals are good. So, in order to break in, in our quest to find this Sonic guy, we have to go to Eggman's base, which is in the middle of Metal Gear Solid Land with snow. So we go there, but to open the laser gate there, you are supposed to have the shock bracelet, and it's a very good power-up for the casual experience because it's a giant AoE stun that if you hold the X button while you're in midair, you do a ground pound and you stun everything within a sizable radius. So you can just pick it up and drop it, and then it instantly explodes. However, in the speedrun, it's slow. We want to be able to hold the X button while airborne. Ooh. Nope. Not that one. There we go. So we could just clip him with the aid of that stone. Why? I have some theories. That involve rotation, interpolation, and the way the game handles angled surfaces, but we're not sure. It just works.
Let's hurry.
Thank you. Now, this is the last time we see Blaze. He's going to be just moving around here. I'm going to go for AFC once. AFC is called Advanced Fire Claw, which is where you do a spinning claw, which I just did, which preserves your speed off of whatever you did, and jump, same frame. Consecutive frames? Same frame? We're not sure. It is one frame though. No, it is not. So I'm gonna try and preserve my speed off the second dash pad. Okay, I did the inputs too late, so I got locked into the automation. But it wouldn't give me enough speed clip through this door instead of having to do any of the combat. 56 with the combat is actually quite good, though. I'm not complaining.
Where is the entrance to Eggman's base?
I'm gonna focus for this one because this is one of the more tactical telethrows in the game. Nice. Alright. And that's why the Acropolis. Why can't I get those in runs? Like, I would never get that good of a Light Acropolis in an attempt. I'd always get something like 151 or something. Anyways, Egg Genesis, enough of me complaining. This boss is fairly straightforward. Guy gives you too many objects. But it's Candy Counter-Strike Simulator. Yeah, so we're gonna see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Throw the 6th one, drop what we have, gain our bar back, and throw the final 6. And we can chill.
Silver, watch it. He's coming in.
We'll run for comedic effect. Ah! It's coming in! But yeah, no, even if you were to stand still, he doesn't kill you at all. The Sega Genesis. The one they didn't want you to know about. And now, for Amy. You'll see immediately why we skip her in Dusty Desert. Not only is her platforming several minutes long, but it also looks a lot like this. This is a combat mission, and you have the shortest hammer in the world. You can double jump and turn invisible, neither of which are useful here. So we're gonna have the rocket go into that blue box, so that all these enemies are nice and easy for us to smack with our hammers. Did not think that one would reach. And this hammer can double hit sometimes. And we're gonna explode this box.
Are you kidding me?
Manually. And take this down to this final robot. Ooh, low 50. That's a good time.
Just perfect.
So far we have been very slow without the aid of an object. This is about to change with my second favorite upgrade ever, the Heart of Wind. The Heart of Wind is a very short wimpy teleport dash that you can extend or do an ETD, extended teleport dash, by pressing the stun slap on your last frame of being inside the teleport dash. What that does is it carries all of your speed for as long as you're holding that stun slap. This is why we don't want to hold X and get the shock bracelet, as it would kill all our speed and send us straight down. So as you can see, we move really fast. And so, using this really fast power, I'm going to clip through this corner. Every one of these dashes is spin perfect if you see me get a significant boost out of it. So we can just go around the mission where we have to sneak into the station by sneaking into the station. By going out of bounds and around the trigger. To the active portal they forgot to turn off again. And now for a crowd favorite telethrow. I don't know, people like this one.
I'm not going to let the Iblis trigger get away!
And we ETG off, so we carry all that speed. And we're done. Radical. Yeah, I say.
Looks like I'm on a roll!
And now for the worst boss in the game. Sonic had a lot of small objects. Shadow, on the other hand, who also attempt to pelt with objects, does not have a lot of small objects, because the objects are not small, and you still don't have a lot of them. So they tend to bump into each other. That's a bad first wave. You don't want to go back for any. They do respawn eventually. Where'd it go? Oh. He's at half health, so now he's gonna go into Chaos Boost Red Shadow mode. The Mountain Dew Code Red type beat. That was good. Anything sub 50 is very serviceable. That boss can do very mean things to your speedrun. So that was something that was like slightly below average, but I'm not complaining. Now for my favorite level in the game, Aquatic Base. Aquatic Base does not have a telethrow, surprise. But it has a lot of cool skips. So for the first half, you're supposed to play a Shadow. We don't.
A laboratory like this?
You go at the back.
Those enemies look like they're guarding that door. Let's start by getting rid of them.
And we're done with the first half of the level. Just a couple ETDs later, and we're suddenly halfway through the level. This one. Nice. And then Silver is actually the only hedgehog who has to use these little shiny balls. There's nowhere near little. And then one more frame perfect dash up here. This one saved about 10 seconds. Missed it. Okay.
Those enemies look like they're guarding that door. Let's start by getting rid of them.
They will open the door normally like normal people. And this is the only required combat that you have to do in this silver level. And you can see how close I have to get to these enemies in order to stun them. $125 without the Hope and Clip, the clip I missed earlier. They're really good.
Perfect.
Mission 14 is next. You're back in Soliana Castletown, and you're wondering, what do I do next in the story? And you have to protect Anna, because she knows the secret. What's the secret? I don't know, she knows it though. Orange protection.
I'm going to stop Dr. Eggman.
Hey.
Did you talk to this guy? Yeah, after the loading screen. You talk to him again.
Hey.
And after the loading screen. This is normally an escort mission. You have to battle enemies in order to clear your path and allow your NPC to progress through the stage. But what if the path clearing is just walk far away enough so that the enemies don't spawn in? So I'm gonna run up behind Anna just to make her move a little bit faster. Ooh. I'm gonna do it again in a bit. And now we get like a 127 or something. We have about 40-ish seconds. Chill. I'm gonna clip out behind this invisible wall. Hopefully. I'm really bad at this, even though it's not necessary for the speedrun at all. And it turned out they loaded the entire upload. The NPCs that you don't see ever during the mission. So you good old Bob McFloaty. Look at that guy. Wait. 131. Something must have been terribly wrong. What is it? But it's okay. Anna made it. That's the important part. She made it. You go, girl.
That was easy.
You didn't need me after all. You needed me not there, actually. And now we come up to trials. The secret was, you have to do the trials in order to get to Kingdom Valley. And we need to get to Kingdom Valley. So we're gonna have to do these side quests. They're not side quests so much, they are missions, town missions. They're little side quests that Silver has 18 of. But we only do 5 in the speedrun. He's required to do more. But we skip 2. Technically, you don't have to do these. Because there is a skip that abuses the geometry of the rock walls here. To scale the entire thing and go to the Kingdom Valley portal early. But it is not only incredibly hard, it also loses time if you cut out the load screens. And loadless is our main timing method, so we don't do that anymore. Thank goodness. It was a deal breaker for a lot of people. Mission 16, they put your cat friend in a very high-tech cage for some reason. So, I'm gonna, instead of using a pre-existing corner, I'm gonna create a corner to flip through. Teleport dash at it, and voila. We usually have to do a bunch of combat to free our friend, but nah, you just have to make contact with the cat. Just pet the cat once.
Looks like I'm on a roll.
Man. And now we gotta do the multiple choice tests that we already know the answers to. There's an NPC that usually gives you, like, plot-related word association questions, and you go through the appropriate portal based on what you think the answer is. But we go speedrunners. We look things up beforehand. We know the answers. This is right. And then the right one again. Wait for it. Oops. And this time it's the one on the left. Almost whiffed that entirely, but it's fun. That was under a 5-second level, according to the in-game timer, but we probably spent about a minute on it.
Perfect.
Plus. This is just how Sonic 06 is on the Xbox 360. PS3 it's even worse unless you use an SSD and an install. In which case it's actually a little faster. But for Silver, this is the fastest version of the game. So now we are at the test of heart, where you do a combat mission in which you have no boxes or objects to aid you. You simply must use the projectiles that are given to you by the enemies, which is a really interesting mission, actually. I want to now to destroy these first 2 waves in that first wave. I destroy the bug guy, kills all the other green guys. And then this end is kind of tricky. Nice.
Hey.
And those are the trials. And now for the end game. The end game is known for being very brutal. Contains probably the hardest single skip and the hardest level separately. So we're gonna go to that skip now, and it's called Kingdom Valley Telelaunch, which I get on a rock, lift it, throw it, and then use it to propel myself skyward. There's a lot of mechanics going on here, but you have to stay on the rock enough to be able to relift it again. That can happen, so I'll take this safety one out.
Darn it! I should have realized Eggman's scheme.
Very good. And that should give us enough height to clear the section in its entirety, saving about at least a minute and a half. At least. And now for Sonic Skip. Up until very recently, we used to do this combat so we could access Sonic's portion of Silver Kingdom Valley. But thank you to Reverie for finding a consistent setup to this skip. It was theorized and done in what is still RTA world record. And that's a little more marathon friendly. Nice. Get the EPD off, and we're at the end of the level. I do a little bit of combat.
Great.
110, that's very good in a run. We did S rank. So by extension, we're losing 5.5 seconds due to us having to sit through another gold medal animation. Usually it's not important for silver. You either get S rank or you don't. But Kingdom Valley is the only level where you really walk the line. And now for Flame Core. Flame Core is a nice final level in that it throws everything you've ever learned at you. So the first half is outside the volcano. We're gonna use this item box stuff to tilt this box a little bit. Very shallow angle, but we made it over. Ooh, if I did not make that. It is very rare that you run out of the baseball telephone. There's a frame perfect dash here to go around a section of platform. Oops. Get over to this frame. Please don't kill me. You can die from a random falling rock on the way there. On the way to the loading trigger while you have no control of silver. Thank goodness it didn't happen. Now for the second half of playing. Lots of movement.
What is that thing?
Lots of frame perfect movement. Close through that door. Over against this lava to damage boost. And there's a little edge here we can use to jump up there. And we need exactly either 3, 5, or 6 rings for this next fight after we hopefully complete the story. We can just open it, it's not that slow. 5? Okay.
What is that ball of flame? Is that the power of Iblis?
So I'm gonna get hit while airborne. To start 4 seconds of invincibility. Then pause buffer a teleslide in order to make it in?
Perfect!
Without having to go on top of that giant rock and destroy it. It's a very long platforming sequence, even with the speed tech at our disposal. Now there's only one thing standing between us and victory. Iblis 3. This is the biggest piece of RNG I ever seen. There are kind of 3 conventional flavors of RNG. There's the worst possible. You cannot do anything worse than this, which is a 3 minute and 10 second. Then there's your average, which is 220. Oh no. This is feeling like a 310.
It looks like he's getting closer to his final form. You'll be in trouble if you let him get close. Try to
You're gonna need 5 hits from this next batch, or I'm just losing 50 seconds. Yeah, I got 6. Woo! Okay, that was close.
He sends out waves.
And yeah, there's a dead zone here.
You need to predict the next wave and evade it.
So yeah, now it's a bit of waiting. The RNG is over. We escaped with the 2 minute and 20. The above average RNG, if you get 5 more hits than what I just did, and that would give you like a 155 or so. So there's a bunch of a lot of variants, and not a lot of different kinds of variants you can get. Need to throw these last 5. And one more giant Cocoa Puff for the road.
He's going to try to destroy the foothold from a distance this time. Here it comes, Silver.
As he does the Naruto pose. And that's silver, no credits for it. Hope y'all enjoyed that showcase. That's the funniest category, man, the man.